problem. Okay, let's find out how we're going to set this up because I'm going to be reading from my computer. Okay. One second. Maybe I should put this on this side. Peace and power. Okay, y'all ready? Now, y'all know your girl can fuck around with the fuck around. Y'all know I'm good at that. So if I get too carried away with my little sidebars, y'all just bring me back, okay? Y'all just bring me back. Great rising. Great rising. Yeah, my city trends fit still holding strong. Brought that thing to Ghana. That girl's still going. Holy shit, baby. $12.99 the right way. Okay, focusing. All right, so we're gonna turn this down, okay? And we're gonna get right on into it, okay? Right on into it. 1 second. You know, I usually like to touch the book, so me reading from the little Kindle app shit is completely new, so just bear with me. I know, great rising, great rising. Okay, let's do this. All right, so we're reading the 4 Agreements, which is a practical guide to personal freedom. This is a Toltec wisdom, okay? All right, great rising. Y'all, I can't keep saying great rising and shit. I gotta goddamn read. But I can say great rising, great rising. All right, okay. If you know me, then you know I ain't got long before my titties gonna sweat out. And before I'm gonna have to take these tights that's posing as a head wrap off my head. So I love you, I do, but we don't have much time to fuck around. Y'all know, Negro Sin Frijoles, baby, they still got a mind of their own. Still coming at you niggas with a high right and a low left, like age progression. Okay, let's do this. Okay, really. The Toltec. Thousands of years ago, the Toltec were known throughout southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge. Anthropologists have spoken of the Toltec as a nation or a race, but in fact, the Toltec were scientists and artists who formed a society to explore and conserve the spiritual knowledge and practices of the ancient ones. They came together as masters, naguals, and students at Teotihuacan, the ancient city of pyramids outside Mexico City, known as the place where man becomes God. Over the millennia, the Naguals were forced to conceal the ancestral wisdom and maintain its existence in obscurity. European conquests, coupled with rampant misuse of personal power by a few of the apprentices, made it necessary to shield the knowledge from those who were not prepared to use it wisely or who might intentionally misuse it for personal gain. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different lineages of Naguals. Great rising, peace and power. Hold on, let me get my water and shit. Fortunately, the esoteric Toltec knowledge was embodied and passed on through generations by different lineages of Naguals. Though it remained veiled in secrecy for hundreds of years, ancient prophecies foretold the coming of an age when it would be necessary to return the wisdom to the people. Now, Don Miguel Ruiz, a Nagual from the Eagle Knight lineage, has been guided to share with us the powerful teachings of the Toltec. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it is not a religion, me and my little sidebars. It says Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. And it doesn't matter where you are in the wheel of enlightenment, if you continue to journey on, you'll pass where you are and you'll come back to where you are again, okay? And as you go, you'll see all the shit you said you was never gonna be. And you'll see all the things that you aspire to be. All right, we'll keep going. I'm sure that the wholeness or the oneness, I'm sure that'll come into play at some point. We won't jump ahead. Toltec knowledge arises from the same essential unity of truth, though, as all the sacred esoteric traditions found around the world. Though it isn't a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who've taught on the earth. While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described. Okay, I'm focused. I'm focused. I'm trying to focus, okay? I'm trying to focus. Just give me a minute. Fuck it. You know how my focus set up. Though it is not a religion, it honors all the spiritual masters who have taught on the earth, okay? All right. You see that? How we didn't specify a particular, we mentioned religion, and we never said nobody's God. You see that? But somehow we said everybody's God. That's amazing. Let's keep going. Okay? While it does embrace spirit, it is most accurately described as a way of life distinguished by the ready accessibility of happiness and love. The introduction is called the Smoky Mirror. 3,000 years ago, there was a human just like you and me who lived near a city surrounded by mountains, right? The human was studying to become a medicine man, to learn the knowledge of his ancestors, but he didn't completely agree with everything he was learning. It sound familiar? In his heart, he felt there must be something more. One day, as he slept in a cave, he dreamed that he saw his own body sleeping. He came out of the cave on the night of a new moon. The sky was clear and he could see millions of stars. Then something happened inside of him that transformed his life forever. He looked at his hands, he felt his body, and he heard his own voice say, "I am made of light, I am made of stars." He looked at the stars again and he realized that it's not the stars that create light, but rather light that creates the stars. Everything is made of light, he said. And the space in between isn't empty. And he knew that everything that exists is one living being. And that light is the messenger of life because it is alive and contains all information. Then he realized that although he was made of stars, he was not those stars. I am in between the stars, he thought. So he called the stars the tonal and the light between the stars the negual. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal and the negual could not exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. Give me 1 second. I love you, sis. Okay, I love you, sis. And that's peace, because when people ask me, who do I pray to? Who is God? The all is God. I pray to the oneness that is everything. So, and just so I can get to the ugly part early for people, you know what I mean? Just so we can get the gritty part out the way, I want to make sure you understand that that means the liars, the rapists, the murderers, the con artists, the scammers, the fraudsters. That's what they call them in Ghana. Because my God, you can't separate anything. You can't separate nothing from it. The minute you separate any one thing from the allness that is my God, you've made my God a little less all, which make my God not all, which make my all not God, which make my God not God. And so for me, the entirety of every single thing, the knowingness that God is not just the thought before I speak the sentence. God is not just the reaction or the response people have to my sentence. God is just not the words or shapes or sounds from my mouth when I speak, but God is the spaces in between the words even. You understand? God is also my period. Pooh. We're going to keep pushing. So he called the stars the tonal and the light between the stars the negual. And he knew that what created the harmony and space between the two is life or intent. Without life, the tonal and the negual couldn't exist. Life is the force of the absolute, the supreme, the creator who creates everything. This is what he discovered. Everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, and everything in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, the rain, the clouds, the earth. He saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagual in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited. Listen, when I had the very same dream, and I feel like all of us who are on this, a journey of self-enlightenment, we all slowly come into the same realizations, all in our own different tongues, if you will. But I feel like that is one of the things that we all get. We, by our own understanding, we get the message of macrocosmism. Lisa Cronin, if you hear, you was there for me maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago when I had the dream that there were these tall, thin, green light beings. They look like string bean people, the ones you used to see on all the computer art at your job, you know, and they didn't even have mouths. They were just long, and like I said, they looked green, but as they passed each other, they would pass light from their core. They were like exchange balls of light. And in the exchange, when each of them were without light, in the middle of the exchange, they weren't greens. They were like transparent or some shit. Either way, it was this dream that I had 7 years ago, and what I woke up with was, because I was in my black power shit. And when I say I was in my black power shit, I'm not going to necessarily say it was black empowerment. I'm just going to say it was just black power. So what you going to do? I don't know. You got all that power? Yes. You know how we do. I'm talking about I had, you know, I'm not going to say it was my opinion, but I was black powering with the people who black power hard. I mean, they got the kind of black power that don't fuck with the gay black power. They got the kind of black power that don't fuck with the poor black power or the Christian black power or the interracial black power. And I'm thinking, well, goddamn, my nigga, how much power need? Now it's just me and you, goddamn, because somebody got to believe in Jesus. Fuck. Who left? You understand? I was definitely in a place where everything had to be separated. And it wasn't because I wanted to be this way. I was systemically divisive. It's the way I was cultivated, you know? Anyway, I don't want to make this too much about me. I'm a Gemini. I'm just kidding. Okay, really, in the dream though, the message was macrocosmism. I never heard that word a day in my fucking life. Macro what, my nigga? Macaroni and cheese. Macrocosmism. Macrocosmism, and it helped me to understand how so many small moving parts work together to create a large part. You know what I'm saying? And I understood it so clearly. Like all my life, people have, when I was younger, I would hear people say shit like, the heart is the most important part of the body. Then I hear people be like, the brain is the most important part of the body. And I'm thinking, now that I'm an adult, you can't live without either one of those motherfuckers. That's macrocosmism. You understand? Neither one of them motherfuckers worth shit if it ain't got the blood. Neither one of them motherfuckers ain't worth shit if it ain't got the water. Neither one of them motherfuckers ain't shit if it ain't got the sun, if it ain't got the green. Listen, all I'm saying is you can't separate it. This is why we sick most of the fucking time. We keep going to doctors that treat the body like the mind and the spirit just same shit. Them niggas just sick in the waiting room still while they give you body medicine. I'm just saying, when you come to this true place of enlightenment, you really do come to a place where even if you have to publicly deny it to protect your image, your marriage, or your money, the truth is, you know, you can't separate your ass from mine. Dink. Moving on. All right. So it says in those few minutes, he comprehended everything and was excited. His heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered. You know how we do. Now, everybody got to believe in the same shit we believe in. Stay woke. But there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes, his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. This sounds like my grandmother, the wisest woman I know. My grandmama tell me all the time, and this, she don't ever use these words, but this is what I know from her. Baby, it all go back to dirt. It's all going back to God in the end. How much of it you gonna hold, and for how long when it's gonna get tooketh anyway? Swear to God, never forget the time I was heartbroken because I couldn't pay my rent. Called my grandma. If you've been riding with me for a while, you done heard this story before. Just ride with me. Called my grandma like, Grandma, I need $200 more on this $700 ticket. My rent due. I'm stressed out, Grandma. I'm losing sleep. I lost my job. Shit fucked up. She say, baby, you're really stressed out. It sounds like you're stressed out. I can feel it. I can hear it. And it ain't no good to be that kind of stressed out. Do you remember on this day last year? And now I'm trying to think back to what the fuck was going on in March of the last year. And I was like, no, I can't even remember. Wow, was something going on? I'm asking her to remind me. And she say she done forgot too. She just want me to know that that's how it is. This year, you don't remember what the fuck was stressing you out last year. And this time next year, you won't remember what the fuck it was this year. I just don't want you to hold it between the years because God gonna have something else waiting on your ass anyway. Make room. And so that's the way it is. All right, moving on. There's this peace and this calm, and there's this acceptance though, and truly understanding that it's all one, that you really can't separate it. It gives you so much peace. My ex ain't my ex, nigga. We still go together. Really, it's all one. It's all one, always, and all the time, inseparable. All of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God, and he smiled when he heard this, and he said, it's true. It's absolutely true. I am God, but you're also God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God, but still the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people, a mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. Everyone is a mirror. He saw himself in everyone, but nobody saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. They couldn't see him as themselves because there was a wall of fog or smoke between the mirrors. And that wall of fog was made by the interpretation of images of light, the dream of humans. Then he knew that he would soon forget all that he had learned. He wanted to remember all the visions he'd had. So he decided to call himself the Smoky Mirror so that he would always know that matter, hold on, goddammit, I told y'all I was gonna get hot. That matter is a mirror. And the smoke in between is what keeps us from knowing what we are. He said, I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you. But we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. That smoke is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer. Whew. Moving on. Living is easy with eyes closed. Misunderstanding all you see. That's a quote by John Lennon, so I'm going to give you that one more time on the Ashe. Living is easy with eyes closed, misunderstanding all you see. Domestication and the dream of the planet. What you are seeing and hearing right now is nothing but a dream. You are dreaming right now in this moment. You are dreaming with the brain awake. Dreaming is the main function of the mind, and the mind dreams 24 hours a day. It dreams when the brain is awake, and it also dreams when the brain is asleep. The difference is that when the brain is awake, there's a material frame that makes us perceive things in a linear way. When we go to sleep, we don't have the frame, and the dream has the tendency to change constantly. Humans are dreaming all the time. Before we were born, the humans before us created a big outside dream that we'll call society's dream, or the dream of the planet. The dream of the planet is the collective dream of billions of smaller personal dreams, which together create a dream of a family with a mommy dream and a daddy dream. Listen, a dream of a community, a dream of a city, a dream of a country, and finally a dream of the world, the whole of humanity. The dream of the planet includes all of society's rules, its beliefs, its laws, its religions, its different cultures and ways to be, its governments, schools, social events, and holidays. We're born with the capacity to learn how to dream. And the humans who lived before us teach us how to dream the way society dreams. The outside dream has so many rules that when a new human is born, we hook the child's attention and introduce these rules into his or her mind. The outside dream uses mom and dad, the schools, and religion to teach us how to dream. Attention is the ability we have to discriminate and to focus only on that which we want to perceive. We can perceive millions of things simultaneously, but using our attention, we can hold whatever we want to perceive in the foreground of our mind. The adults around us hooked our attention and put information into our minds through repetition. That is the way we learned everything we know. By using our attention, we learned a whole reality, a whole dream. We learned how to behave in society, what to believe and what not to believe, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, what is good and what is bad, what is beautiful and what is ugly, what is right and what is wrong. It was all there already. All that knowledge, all those rules, all those concepts about how to behave in this world. When you were in school, you sat in a little chair and you put your attention on what the teacher was teaching you. When you went to church, you put your attention on what the priest or minister was telling you. It is the same dynamic with mom and dad, with brothers and sisters. They were all trying to hook your attention. We also learn to hook the attention of other humans, and we develop a need for attention which can become very competitive. Children compete for the attention of their parents, their teachers, their friends. Look at me, hey, look what I'm doing, I'm here. The need for attention becomes very strong and continues into adulthood. The outside dream hooks our attention and teaches us what to believe, beginning with the language that we speak. It's crazy because we spoke about language recently, but I'm going, oh, thank you, sis. We spoke about language recently. I'm hot as fuck, I'm trying to tell you. God damn it, I'm sitting under the fan. but it's kind of strong, okay? And here, it's 12:32 a.m., okay? And it's still 100 degrees. Shit, got my windows open and my fan on high, and I'm over here wet up. All right, I'm moving on. Let me focus. I love you. Okay, but on the last slide, we did speak about the significance of language, okay? But I don't want to get too far off course, so we're going to just keep going. Language is the code for understanding and communication between humans. Every letter, every word, and each language is an agreement. We call this page in a book. The word page is an agreement that we understand. We agreed that a page is a page, do we not? Okay. Once we understand the code, our attention is hooked and the energy is transferred from one person to another. It was not your choice to speak English. Okay, you know, this is another one of those things I talk about all the time. Quick sidebar. I say, like, when we hurt ourselves, it's typically like, ouch. You know, you stub your toe, you hit your hand, you bump your head, like, ouch. And ouch is very formulated. I have heard women who are in excruciating pain. You know what I mean? I've heard men wailing in grief. I have heard accidents and burn victims, and none of them have said, ouch. You understand? Ouch is the dream that somebody else gave you. Ouch is the boo-boo dream, okay? When you're in real pain, sounds and screeches and gurgles or cries or silence come out. You know what I mean? Nothing comes out at all. This is just proof that a lot of everything, when we understand how deep, because like we woke, now we're on the internet, like it's the program. When you understand exactly how deep it goes, okay, then you'll understand that you've made some agreements that you aren't aware of, and it'll help you to change the agreements you make going forward. So it wasn't your choice to speak English. You didn't choose your religion or your moral values. They were already there before you were born. Hell, and that's even if you switched religious systems. So you not Christian no more, now you do voodoo. It was already there before you. Let's talk about it. They were already there before you were born. We never had the opportunity to choose what to believe or what not to believe. We never chose even the smallest of these agreements. We didn't even choose our own name. As children, we didn't have the opportunity to choose our beliefs, but we agreed with the information that was passed to us from the dream of the planet via other humans. The only way to store information is by agreement. The outside dream may hook our attention, but if we don't agree, we don't store that information. As soon as we agree, we believe it. And this is called faith. To have faith is to believe unconditionally. That's how we learn as children. Children believe everything adults say. We agree with them. And our faith is so strong that the belief system controls our whole dream of life. We didn't choose these beliefs, and we may have rebelled against them, but we were not strong enough to win the rebellion. The result is surrender to the beliefs with our agreement. I call this process the domestication of humans. All right? That's what we're going to call this process, the domestication of humans. And through this domestication, now when we hear domestication of something, do you not think about dogs first? And can you imagine? You know what I mean? Dogs are, our dogs now are bred to fit in purses. They have, what is not the pit bull, but maybe it's the bulldog, who is a special bred dog, specially bred, okay? It's a unique breed. And its head, I've read, is so big that all of these dogs have to be delivered by cesarean. Okay? And they ain't out here in nature just mating and shit like they pheromones ain't telling them, hey, don't fuck that one or the head gonna be too big to kill you. You know? These are matings that we doing. Anyway, yeah, like now we've got dogs that fit in our purses that can attend lunches with us. And these dogs, these wild animals, are now considered domestic pets and cannot sustain themselves in nature. Shit, my dog need a coat before I do, nigga. Shit, I'm straight in the snow for a little bit. He out there like, he don't want to go past the porch. And this is his element, all right? So here we're talking about a process that the author calls the domestication of humans. The domestication of humans, family. I just need you to catch that shit, because it's difficult now for us to sustain ourselves outside of our happy homes as we know them. And you know I know, because I'm out here and got it dying every goddamn day. Just a little bit by this heat. I'd be like, shit, fuck, how much the AC unit is again? All right, keep on going. And through this domestication, we learn how to live and how to dream. And human domestication, the information from the outside dream, is conveyed to the inside dream, creating our whole belief system. First, the child is taught the names of things, you know, mom, dad, milk, bottle. Day by day at home, at school, at church, and from television, we're told how to live, what kind of behavior is acceptable. The outside dream teaches us how to be a human. We have a whole concept of what a woman is and what a man is. And we also learn to judge. We judge ourselves, judge other people, judge the neighbors. Imagine that. Us judging the parents who love their children unconditionally, or judging the children who say, oh, I feel like a girl, even though I was born as a boy. And I'm talking about the children, okay? Oh, you got a little girl who's like, I know mom thinks I'm a girl, but I was in the wrong body and I'm a boy and shit. Now we want to judge the children and we want to judge the parents and we want to know who the fuck in the bloodline been gay and we got to figure out who to molest the baby and we going through all of this, when for me, the issue, as crazy as it may sound, come in the very beginning, that I'm asking a fucking child, that I'm asking a being to stop being and start doing. I'm asking a being, telling the being, yo, you're not a human being. You're a human doing some other shit. I need you to be doing the internet to find out what you're going to be. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. They having to, very early on, for them to even have to identify what the fuck a woman is and what the fuck a man is, it's a whole lot. Because like I said, you can't just be out here being, fam. What you gonna do, little nigga? what you gonna do? All right. So we learn to judge. Like, and we've gotten real good at this shit too. You know what I mean? I just want to put that out there. Like, we're not just judging like a little bit. We out here like supremes with our shit. We judge ourselves. We judge other people. We judge the neighbors. Children are domesticated the same way we domesticate a dog, a cat, or any other animal. In order to teach a dog, we punish the dog and we give it rewards. We train our children, whom we love so much, the same way that we train any house animal, with a system of punishment and reward. We're told, you're a good boy, you're a good girl, when we do what mom and dad want us to do. When we don't, you're a bad girl, you're a bad boy. When we went against the rules, we were punished. When we went along with the rules, we got a reward. We were punished many times a day, and we were also rewarded many times a day. Soon we became afraid of being punished and also afraid of not receiving the reward. The reward is the attention that we got from our parents or from other people like siblings, teachers, or friends. We soon develop a need to hook other people's attention in order to get the reward. The reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. I'm just sidebar, because I have to throw this out there just for my sisters, and this be my own personal shit, because promiscuity is such a large and impactful part of my own personal history. I know that for a long time, and I was one of those people trying to figure out when I came into myself, like, why am I a hoe out here? I'm trying to figure out why the fuck is I'm a hoe. My mama wasn't no hoe. My grandma wasn't no hoe. Shit, my daddy hugged me. Like, I was trying to figure some shit out, just being real. And I realized that it was, in fact, the intimacy that I looked for, okay? I didn't exactly come up in a time or community where you could call a black man like, hey, I know you got shit you got to do, and you got women who ready to suck your dick from here to next door, but I was just wondering if you could hold me because I'm lonely. Yeah, I just, it would really help my dopamine and my endorphins and shit if you would just lay next to me with your divine masculine and whisper sweet nothings in my ear. I don't know, keep me warm tonight. Nah, you can come get this dick, or you can call me when your period go off. That's what I came up with. And so it was easy to go from place to place because, yeah, we're going to spend an hour laughing and tea-keying. Okay, we're going to spend an hour with the Netflix and chill. Then we're going to spend an hour fucking if you got that much energy in you after you done had all this drink and shit. And then I get the 10 or 15 minutes of cuddle time. And it's the 10 or 15 minutes of cuddle time that I want. It's the text the 2 days later. Now I wanted it when I left your house. You'd be like, damn, girl, I already miss you. But it came 2 days later like, damn, Shida, what's up? Shit, a nigga missing you and shit. I miss you too. Yeah. It was intimacy, though, that I was looking for. And the only way to get that reward that I knew of was sex. Okay? That's it. The reward feels good. And so we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get this reward. Couldn't imagine that it was as simple as, it didn't have shit to do with being molested or abandoned. It was as simple as an elementary system that I had learned so early on. As simple as that. The reward feels good, and we keep doing what others want us to do in order to get the reward. With that fear of being punished and the fear of not getting that reward, we start pretending to be what we're not, just to please others, just to be good enough for someone else. We try to please mom and dad. We try to please teachers at school. We try to please the church, and we start acting. I swear to God, that's why you don't see me on Snapchat. No shade to nobody. I ain't telling motherfuckers I've been wearing masks my whole life, beloved. I'm good. Please, it took me damn near 40 years to take the filter off. Please. Don't threaten me with a mannequin challenge, bitch. I know how to be still in life. Nailed it. All right, keep on going. We try to please church, mom, school, teachers. We start acting. We pretend to be what we're not because we're afraid of being rejected. The fear of being rejected becomes the fear of not being good enough. Eventually, we become someone that we are not. We become a copy of mama's beliefs, a copy of daddy's belief or society's belief, religion's beliefs. All our normal tendencies are lost in the process of domestication. And when we're old enough for our mind to understand, we learn the word no. The adults say don't do this and don't do that. We finally rebel and shit, let our nuts hang. Be like, no. Because we're defending our freedom. We want to be ourselves, but we're very little. And the adults are very big and they're very strong. After a certain time, we're afraid because we know that every time we do something wrong, we're going to be punished. The domestication is so strong that at a certain point in our lives, we no longer need anyone to domesticate us. We don't need mom or dad or the school or the church to domesticate us. We're so well trained that we are our own domesticator. We are an auto-domesticated animal. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system we were given, and using the same system of punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow rules according to our belief system. This is what's really crazy to watch. When we start punishing ourselves for rules we've given ourselves. Ooh, Ife. Give me a minute. Yeah, I talk to my goddamn self. Ife, get your shit together. Now, this is the 4 agreements. This ain't sacred woman. What you're not going to do is get on here and cry. Because that ain't what we came to do, sis. It's hot in the motherfucker. You sweating. I don't know now if it's the Africa shit or if it's spirit. Shit. Shit. All right, listen. We can now domesticate ourselves according to the same belief system we were given and using the same system of punishment and reward. We punish ourselves when we don't follow the rules according to our belief system. We reward ourselves when we are the good girl or the good boy. Man, some of the ways I hear us speak about ourselves, oh my, it's heartbreaking. I have to tell sisters all the time, it's offensive to me. Please watch how you talk to me about my sister. You know what I mean? They're like, Queen, I'm fucking up. I can't get right. I can't do this and I can't do that. And I try and I'm falling off and I'm way behind and I'm this age and I should have this and I did this wrong. And I'd not be like, ooh, shit, sis. You got me ready to swing on you. I'm starting to take it personal. Don't talk about my sister that way when you telling me that she broke up whose rules? So she ain't graduated by this time. So she ain't had a baby by this time. So she didn't have a lot of babies by that time. Who the fuck rules is she judging herself by? Whose? Yeah, brother, I know your brother got married. The last thing you need to go and run off and marry this bitch because you're trying to be like your brother. Beloved, you ain't on his time. And you're not on his rules. Who told you that? Who robbed you of your freedom by forcing their timeline of a dream in your template? Because the truth is, I tell my babies, freedom is like fluid, baby. It is the same shape as whatever vessel you put it in. Don't be fooled. My freedom gonna be shaped just like me. And Cardi B's freedom gonna be shaped just like Cardi B. And them freedoms ain't gonna measure up the same. But they gonna be total. And they gonna be equal. Still, somehow, the same. Let's keep going. We don't have much more time together. The belief system is like a book of law that rules our mind. Without question, whatever's in that book of law is our truth. We base all of our judgments according to the book of law, even if these judgments go against our own inner nature. Even moral laws, like the 10 Commandments, are programmed into our mind in the process of domestication. One by one, all these agreements go into the book of law. And these agreements rule our dream. There's something in our minds that judges everybody and everything, including the weather, the dog, the cat, everything. The inner judge uses what is in our book of law to judge everything we do and don't do, everything we think and don't think, everything we feel and don't feel. So, sidebar, when all of us have this, we don't understand why there's a double standard, why everybody want to have a poly relationship with all the bitches, but when all the dicks show up, everybody wants to, you know, and I keep seeing women all over the internet and all over the world want some man to answer to that, or want some man to agree that, yeah, he could share his woman with other women, or whatever the fuck, when the truth is, we already understand the inner judge. Why the fuck are you asking this man to tell you something about a system that you already know was in place before he was born? You already know why we think that way. Get the fuck, who the fuck gives a fuck why? It is what it is. C'est la vie. That actually means that's life. Okay? Everything we do, everything lives under the tyranny of this judge. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says we're guilty. We need to be punished. I need you to understand how people are using their own book of law against you so you don't let them. You understand? I'm away from my children. I'm 6,000 miles away from my daughters. I'll wake up in a day and I don't know what the fuck my day is gonna look like from one day to the next, and it's been that way for the past year. And I've never in my life had that where each day what needs to be done that day is determined on that day and in that hour, because I don't have a doctor's appointment to get to. I don't have a car appointment to get to. I don't need to get gas. I don't need to stop by my mama's house. I don't need to check on my daddy. I don't need to get the baby to the tutor. There's nothing for me to do here out in the absence of mothering and running my business, except to do whatever the fuck spirit tell me to do on any given day, right? My children are well. And there are so many people who in their book of law, every mother should have her babies always and all the time, hell or high water. And if she don't, she less of a woman. you know, and this is in their book of law. This is in their book of law. And I can tell them, a baby doesn't have to have her mother. A baby has to have the village. A baby needs the father. I could tell them, I'm encouraging my babies to be free instead of encouraging them to be slaves to motherhood. Like, I could go through all of that and I'm going to be wasting my fucking time. One, because like grandmama know, it all go back to dirt any goddamn way. Like me and you know, and all the esoteric doctrine, they can do all that fly shit they want to. But truth is, beloved, all your shade and all your judgment, you still can't separate your ass from my ass, and that's probably why you got such a problem with my ass. You want to know how my light reflect on you and make you look. So man, I'm representing the whole of the black community now. Woo! Listen, everybody got a book. Everybody got a book of law, okay? And it's not them that's judging. This, we can call it an energy or a spirit that's up in the human, okay? And that inner judge gonna do what an inner judge supposed to do. But you don't have to take that. You don't have to do that, okay? You don't have to do that. I just don't want you living by somebody else's laws and punishing yourself based on their laws, or rewarding yourself limited because it's based on their laws. All right, the book of law. Every time we do something that goes against the book of law, the judge says we're guilty and need to be punished. We should be ashamed. And this happens many times a day, day after day, for all the years of our lives. There's another part of us that receives the judgments, and this part is called the victim. And the victim carries the blame, carries the guilt, carries the shame. It's the part of us that says, damn, poor me, I'm not good enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not attractive enough. I'm not worthy of love, poor me. The big judge agrees and says, yes, you are not good enough. And this is all based on a belief system that we never even chose to believe. These beliefs are so strong that even years later, when we are exposed to new concepts and try to make our own decisions, we find that these beliefs still control our lives. Whatever goes against the book of law will make you feel a funny sensation in your solar plexus. Okay, it's up in here. And it's called fear. Breaking the rules in the book of law opens your emotional wounds. And your reaction is to create emotional poison. Because everything that is in the book of law has to be true. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. Anything that challenges what you believe is going to make you feel unsafe. It's par for the course, family. That's a golf term. No, I'm not a golfer, but my mama taught me that. We some readers. Hey man, that's like the average number of hits it take to get the ball in this particular hole. If most of the niggas come here, get 2 hits and it's in, and that's 2 par on that hole. Par for the course. It's to be expected. Even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. Even if it's wrong, it makes you feel safe. And we're going to mention the Bible, not because they mention it here, but because we do. Because a lot of us in the last 5, 7 to 10 years have come into a place where we've questioned a lot of the things that we've learned in the Bible, or a lot of things that we've learned in the church. I won't even say the Bible, because a lot of us haven't read the Bible in its entirety, and especially not if we're in the church, because they definitely put your ass a clip up on the screen and then talk about it. You know? Anyway, even with this book in particular, as we try to get free, there's always this thing at the core that is concerned about the well-being of your salvation. You know what I'm saying? Like the soul. It don't matter if you went from Christianity to Buddhism, or from Buddhism to Buddhism. All of it is still the same. You still want to make sure your soul gonna be straight at the end of this shit, right? I ain't done got too loose, did I, Lord? Listen, even if the book of law is wrong, it makes you feel safe. Homosexuality is another one of them things I think about when it comes to say, even if it's wrong to just be like, oh, send them all to hell, stone all the homos, right? Even if that's wrong, it's something in it that make these motherfuckers feel safe. That is why we need a great deal of courage to challenge our own beliefs, whatever they are. You ain't got to challenge mine. The object here is to learn to challenge your own beliefs. Because even if we know we didn't choose all these beliefs, it's also true that we agreed to all of them. The agreement is so strong that even if we understand the concept of it not being true, we feel the blame, the guilt, and the shame that occur if we go against these rules. Let me tell you about this time I was trapped in a loveless marriage. Give me a minute. The agreement was that we would stay together forever. I'm talking about forever. The kind of forever that have you online Googling, again, what's the difference? And infinitely and eternally and shit. We supposed to love each other forever. That was the agreement. That was the vow, okay? And even after it's been violated, even after it's been revealed that on one part or both, it ain't that. It ain't no vow. It ain't no promise. It's a setup. It's a lie. It's a sham. It's a motherfucking show. That's what it is. Some shit for niggas to watch and be entertained by. It ain't even real. But the agreement is so strong that even if I understand the concept of it not being true, if I move away from the agreement, I feel blame. I feel guilt. I feel shame. I'm embarrassed and shit. Fam. Because of these rules. God damn. Because of the rules. Just as the government has a book of laws that rule the society's dream, our belief system is the book of laws that rules our personal dream. All these laws exist in our mind. We believe them. And the judge us bases everything on these rules. The judge us decrees, and the victim us suffers the guilt and punishment. But who says there's justice in this dream? True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True injustice is paying more than once for each mistake. How many times do we pay for one mistake? The answer is 1,000 times. The human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. The rest of the animals pay once for every mistake they make, but not us. We have a powerful memory. We make a mistake, we judge ourselves. We find ourselves guilty and we punish ourselves. If justice exists, then that was enough. We don't need to do it again. But every time we remember, we judge ourselves again. We're guilty again. And we punish ourselves again and again and again and again and again. If we have a wife or a husband, he or she also reminds us of the mistake. So we can judge ourselves again, punish ourselves again, and find ourselves guilty again. Fuck, is this fair? How many times do we make our spouse, our children, our parents pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them again and send them all the emotional poison we feel at the injustice. And then we make them pay again for the same mistake. Is that justice? The judge in the mind is wrong because the belief system, the book of law is wrong. The whole dream is based on false law. 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our mind are nothing but lies, and we suffer because we believe all of them. In the dream of the planet, it is normal for humans to suffer, to live in fear, and to create emotional dramas. The outside dream is not a pleasant dream. It's a dream of violence, a dream of fear, a dream of war, a dream of injustice. The personal dream of humans will vary, but globally, it is mostly a nightmare. Give me a minute. Let me blow my nose. It's also at the hour. Oh, we're not at the hour mark because I was 10 minutes late. So we can keep going. Y'all, shit. You know your girl will log off in a heartbeat. Hold on. All right. That's because I'm over here crying and shit. Got to get my shit together. Get your shit together, Ife. Hold on. Let me lift my titties up. See if I can cool down a little bit. Ooh, listen. Your girl is wet over this motherfucker. It's hot. All right. Come on. Oh, wait. That was good. Let me get a little bit more of that. Good God, y'all, water is the only drink suitable for human consumption. We ain't gonna talk about that. This ain't about no health thing. We reading about the 4 agreements, but like I said, get your shit together. Drink water. Half of the diseases you think you got, you talking about your kidney locked up, your back locked up, you got gas, and you have migraines and shit. Bitch, drink some water. Drink some water. Drink some water. Leave the bread and shit and sugar alone for a week or two and just have some water, okay? Water. And soup. Ahua, motherfucker. Get you some water though. For real. And you know I love to give you this example, so I have to. If I told your ass that you could put Coca-Cola in your gas tank and just drive, be like, bitch, you could put that Diet Coke in that hole and go all the way from Atlanta to MIA. Your ass will be like, bye. I already know I got to put that 98 in my car, sis. It's the same way with your body. Don't believe the hype. You can drink all the Sugar Avery bath water you want to. I love the tea blends, I do. But the truth is your body wring that shit out just so it can get the water from it. It just wants the water, fam. Give yourself some water. We're going to keep on going and then I'm going to go have me some more water. The personal dream of humans will vary, but globally it is mostly a nightmare. If we look at human society, we see a place so difficult to live in because it's ruled by fear. Throughout the world, we see human suffering, anger, revenge, addictions, violence in the street, and tremendous injustice. It may exist at different levels in different countries around the world, but fear is controlling the outside dream. If we compare the dream of human society with the description of hell that all religions around the world have promulgated, okay, we find, promulgated, okay, promulgated. I gotta get that word in a little bit. Okay, that's a new word for you, girl, promulgated. If we compare the dream of human society with the description of hell that religions all around the world have promulgated, we find that they are exactly the same. Religions say that hell is a place of punishment, a place of fear, pain, and suffering, a place where the fire burns you. Fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. Whenever we feel the emotions of anger, jealousy, envy, or hate, we experience a fire burning within us. We're living in a dream of hell. If you consider hell as a state of mind, then hell is all around us. Others may warn us that if we don't do what they say we should do, we'll go to hell. Bad news. We're already in hell, including the people who tell us that. No human can condemn another to hell because we are already there. Others can put us into a deeper hell. This is true, but only if we allow this to happen. Every human has his or her own personal dream, and just like the society dream, it is often ruled by fear. We learn to dream hell in our own life, in our personal dream. The same fears manifest in different ways for each person, of course, but we experience anger, jealousy, hate, envy, and other negative emotions. Our personal dream can also become an ongoing nightmare where we suffer and live in a state of fear. But we don't need to dream a nightmare. It's possible to enjoy a pleasant dream. All of humanity is searching for truth, justice, and beauty. We are on an eternal search for the truth because we only believe in the lies we've stored in our mind. We're searching for justice because in the belief system we have, there is no justice. We search for beauty because it doesn't matter how beautiful a person is, we don't believe that person has beauty. We keep searching and searching when everything is already within us. There is no truth to find. Wherever we turn our heads, all we see is the truth. But with the agreements and the beliefs we've stored in our mind, we have no eyes for the truth. We don't see the truth because we're blind. What blinds us are all of those false beliefs we have in our mind. We have the need to be right. We have the need to make others wrong. We trust what we believe, and our beliefs set us up for suffering. It is as if we live in the middle of a fog that doesn't let us see any further than our own nose. We live in a fog that is not even real. This fog is a dream, your personal dream of life, what you believe, all the concepts you have about what you are, all the agreements you've made with others, with yourself, with your God. Your whole mind is a fog with a Toltec called a mitote. Your mind is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same time and nobody understands each other. This is the condition of the human mind, a big mitote. And with that big mitote, you cannot see what you really are. In India, they call the mitote Maya, which means illusion. It is the personality's notion of I am. Everything you believe about yourself and the world, all the concepts and programming you have in your mind are all in the mitote. We cannot see who we truly are. We cannot see that we are free. That is why humans resist life. To be alive is the biggest fear humans have. Death is not the biggest fear we have. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive. The risk to be alive and to express what we really are. I want to point this out just because I got time for the fuck around. And if I told you this also recently, you'll have to charge it to my head and not my heart. I talk a lot, so, like old folk, they tell you the same story over and over. That's me. So my daughter and I were talking not too long ago about whether or not a bug feels pain, okay? So, I'm on my Kindle shit, so for me it's page 16. But yeah, we were talking about like whether or not, you realize, not even realize, you try to kill an ant, boom, and you see him halfway going, he half limping, half making it. You don't know if you flip him over on his legs, if he'll still take off again or not. So the question was, should I put him out of his misery like we see in the movies? Somebody hit a deer, you accidentally injured an animal, and now you want to kill it to put it out of its misery. So that was the question with me and my children. Am I supposed to put insects out of their misery? They want to know, is it their job to make that judgment? And is it in misery? And I'm like, so before we could talk about making the judgment, we're going to just focus on the misery part. And I told them, now, I'm sure you could get many answers from Google and from people. As a human, if you look based on your own book of law, absolutely they feel pain. If somebody did it to you, you would feel pain. So by your book of law, yes. And I don't know the insect book of law. I thank God for my husband who's taught me, don't think for the ants. I know it's not my job to try to figure out what the fuck they doing. I got my own Toltec shit to be on. But hold on right quick, y'all. Hold on, your girl done ran out of water. Goddamn. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and finish. Hold on. No, the hell I'm not, because I'm thirsty, y'all. And it's hot, and that's dangerous. I'm sweating. I gotta stay hydrated. All right. So we're talking about whether or not these insects feel pain. Okay. And I tell her, I don't believe insects feel pain because I don't believe that they feel love or emotion. I believe insects are wired to feel functionality, okay? And so for ant, it's not about to love or to be loved, to love or to be loved like the human. For the ant, it's to function or not to function. And if you took the nigga's thorax off and 2 of his legs, he can't function anymore. Please take him out of his function. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I think that goes. And I'm like, if you think about it, the elders, the people who are close to death, aren't afraid of death or dying. They're ready for it. They've embraced it. They're more concerned with making peace with all the things that are living. If you consider, if you've ever had a near-death experience, okay? If you've ever had a near-death experience, been in a car accident, a fire, a domestic relationship, an abusive relationship, if you've had your life threatened before, then because your last thoughts aren't, oh my God, I want to live, oh my God, I want to live, I want to live, I just want to live, I thought I was going to live, I thought I was going to live. Your thoughts aren't, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, oh my God, I can't believe this is how I'm gonna die. That's the fuck happens in movies. In real life, you immediately start thinking about your family, your friends, your loved ones. You ain't thinking about function or nothing. You're thinking about everybody else. You're not thinking about yourself at all. When you go, you're more concerned how your daughter gonna cope, how your son gonna make it. Is your mama gonna be straight? Is your neighbor gonna be good? Anyway, so death is not the biggest fear we have, really. And even though we believe it is, because the book of law that we've been given tells us to, if we examine ourselves and discover our own and true core beliefs, we'll learn that for most of us, death is not the biggest fear. Our biggest fear is taking the risk to be alive, the risk to be alive, and the risk to express what we really are. Just being ourselves is the biggest fear of humans. We've learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. So listen, I'm just gonna keep going, because it's not you alone, it's we, for real. Okay? We've learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. We've learned to live by other people's points of views because of the fear of not being accepted and of not being good enough for someone else. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. Okay. You know what? No, we're not. We're going to keep going just so I can start at prelude to a new dream when we pick up tomorrow. Okay? All right. Okay. Never not being accepted for someone else. All right. During this process of domestication, we form an image of what perfection is in order to try to be good enough. We create an image of how we should be in order to be accepted by everybody. We especially try to please the ones who love us, like mom, dad, big brothers and the sisters, the priest and the teacher, trying to be good enough for them. We create an image of perfection, but we don't fit this image. We create this image, but the image is not real. We are not going to be perfect from this point of view. Never. Okay, another sidebar. Giving thanks again for my husband. Love you, babe. Because we talk about this all the time. It's not something, there's a significant age difference between us, okay? And so I tell him, because I'm the senior in a relationship, one of my biggest things is I want to make sure that my idealization of you doesn't limit who you really are. You know what I mean? The only way you're going to really see your full potential is if I can make sure that I know, and it's going to be hard because I've been around the block a long time. You know what I mean? I've been around, listen, it ain't my first rodeo. And so I have to be careful not to limit you. I want you to be the best that you can be and the best you can be for me and to me. But if I try to make you like my last dude, if I try to make you like my dream dude, then I limit you from being whatever dude you already written for yourself. You know what I mean? And all right, we're going to keep on going. All right, trying to be good enough for them, we create an image of perfection, but nobody fits this image, all right? And nobody ever will fit this image, okay? Not being perfect, we reject ourselves, and the level of self-rejection depends on how effective the adults were in breaking our integrity. After domestication is no longer about being good enough for anybody else, we are not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit our own image of perfection. We cannot forgive ourselves for not being what we wish to be, or rather what we believe we should be. We can't forgive ourselves for not being perfect. We know we are not what we believe we were supposed to be. And so we feel false, and we feel frustrated and dishonest. We try to hide ourselves, and we pretend to be what we're not. The result is that we feel unauthentic, and wear social masks to keep others from noticing this. That essentially buries you more and more and more. My God, it's so heavy to carry yourself. You know what I mean? If you can, like, I don't know, just because you got your feet, you know what I mean? Because you got gravity and shit, and you got a spine. So like you literally moving your body from place to place, and maybe you're not understanding the depth of that even. But like your body, however many pounds the fuck you are, like you carrying that. That's heavy. That's a lot to carry. You feel me? I just don't want you up under you. You ever had sex and somebody heavy just laid on you? You're like, damn, I enjoyed you, but fuck, you kind of heavy. Like, listen, you got to get from up under yourself. Shit, sis. All right. We try to hide ourselves and we pretend to be what we're not. The result is that we feel unauthentic and we wear social masks to keep others from noticing. We're so afraid that somebody else will notice that we're not what we pretend to be. They gonna fuck around and see the truth on you, girl. We judge others according to our image of perfection as well. And naturally, they fall short of our expectations because it's all made up the fuck anyway. We dishonor ourselves just to please other people. We even do harm to our physical bodies just to be accepted by others. You see teenagers taking drugs just to avoid being rejected by other teenagers. They're not aware that the problem is that they don't accept themselves. They reject themselves because they're not what they pretend to be. They wish they was a certain way, but they're not. And because they're not that way, they carry shame about it and guilt. Humans punish themselves endlessly for not being what they believe they should be. They become very self-abusive and they use other people to abuse themselves as well. But nobody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves. And it is the judge. And you know this too, because when you can't be, when your us judge, when your inner judge is not with the judge shit, when it's some shit that you know ain't got, baby, when you done already forgave yourself, you wish a bitch would bring that up. Because you don't receive that. Trust me, we are our own worst enemies. I remember when I was younger, there were times that I would cry and cry. My mother be like, when your daddy get home, he gonna beat your ass. My daddy ain't never beat me in all the years that they was married. When your daddy get home for that shit you did, he gonna beat your ass. And I be in the room crying and shit. And then he get home, it never failed. My father always got home and said the same thing. Well, since you beating yourself up so bad, I guess you done already done the worst anybody can do to you. Facts. You heard it. All right. So, nobody abuses us more than we abuse ourselves. And it's the judge, the victim, and the belief system that make us do this. True, we find people who say their husband or wife or mother or father abused them. But you know that we abuse ourselves much more than that. The way we judge ourselves is the worst judge that ever existed. If we make a mistake in front of people, we try to deny the mistake or cover it up. But as soon as we're alone, the judge becomes so strong, the guilt so strong, and we feel stupid, we feel bad, we feel unworthy. In your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. Even those of us who have been sexually assaulted, molested, raped, abused as children will still grow up by the book of law thinking, abusing ourselves by saying, I didn't say something. I didn't do this. I didn't fight back. I think maybe I asked for it. Maybe I this and I that. The abuse on the self and not even the offender. In your whole life, nobody's ever abused you more than you've abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. Remember, I just told you that shit. That's that wish a nigga would. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you'll probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you just a little less than you abuse yourself, you'll probably stay in that relationship and tolerate it endlessly. If you abuse yourself very badly, you can even tolerate someone who beats you up, humiliates you, and treats you like dirt. Why? Because in your belief system, you say, I deserve it. This person is doing me a favor by being with me. I'm not worthy of love and respect, and I'm not good enough. We have the need to be accepted and to be loved by others, but we cannot accept and love ourselves. The more self-love we have, the less we will experience self-abuse. Self-abuse comes from self-rejection. And self-rejection comes from having an image of what it means to be perfect and never measuring up to that ideal. Our image of perfection is the reason we reject ourselves. It is the reason we reject ourselves. It is why we don't accept ourselves the way we are, and why we don't accept others the way they are. All right, that's it. And we went 10 minutes over. We'll pick up the same time tomorrow. Pick it up at Prelude to a Dream, okay? Let me get the fuck up off of here. I love you. Peace.